He's a father, he's a husband, and he's our friend. I would like to use this opportunity to call on Mr. Babatokwe Ogunlokun. Shall we please appreciate him even as he comes?
You know, we are in the church, and that clap is not for me. It is because we recognize that Jesus has brought us to this day. Thank you. All right. So, again, my name is Babatokwe Ogunlokun. Just as Brother Mane has earlier said, in the last 20 years thereabouts, I've been doing buying and selling, or picking and selling. When you are selling for somebody, you are picking and selling. But when you buy, I pray that today God will help us to gain what we need to gain from Him in Jesus' name. All right, so first, we'll be looking at, remember the theme is repositioning for tomorrow's reality. Repositioning for tomorrow's reality. And then first, we want to be looking at the retail and sales perspectives. Retail and sales perspective. We talked the dollar rate, which also determines a lot of things for tomorrow's reality. In the areas of selling, in the area of buying and selling, what can I do differently? Remember, we know that you can't do the same thing, you continue to do that same thing, and then want to expect a different result when you are not Jesus Christ, who got it right from the beginning. And that's why he says, it's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So don't say that you are in that same category or the same level. All right. So, can you see the screen, please? Let me ask us, whichever category you belong to, whether you are a student, whether you are working, whether you are having your own businesses, or you are having the two together, or the three together, it's possible for you to be a student, be working, and also having a small business, side hustle, or about to retire, or you are retired, or you don't even have anything doing currently. That is the current situation. And then we're asking, how do we migrate ourselves? How do we move to the next level, which is tomorrow? How do we make sure that we don't remain in the same status quo that we have today? Most likely that it's not pleasant. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure anyone can say categorically that the state he or she is now, he wants to continue like that. That he prefers that, he doesn't want any changes, he doesn't want any improvements. No. So in as much as we are expecting an improvement in whatever we do, in other words, we are looking forward to a greater tomorrow, it is expected of us to think ahead and plan ahead to get a better reality for tomorrow. Can you go to the second slide, my brother? So, I want you to look at these pictures. Now, this one says today's decision and tomorrow's reality. Do you agree with that? If you agree with that, can I see your hand up? That whatever decision you are taking today becomes tomorrow's reality. And that's what one of the decisions that you are taking, if you can ask yourself, is that you are here this morning, or you're listening wherever you are to whatever is going to happen today in this business summit. So he says, life today is a collection of choices made yesterday. There are three things there. We have current, we have the tomorrow, and then we have the one in the past. So if whatever you are passing through now, that you already know that it's a collection of what decisions or choices you have made yesterday, now how can I change it to give me a better tomorrow? That's the essence of this. So you don't have to ask yourself, what am I doing currently? Now let me tell you, this concerns everybody. Every one of us, whether it's services, whether it's product, you are selling one thing or the other. As a matter of fact, if you are not good in that, you are not going to continue to excel in that thing that you are doing. So all of us, we are sellers. We sell something. Retail, whichever way you do it. So again, this man said, what is positioning? Talking about yourself. He said, positioning is the mind of the prospect. It is how you differentiate your solution in their mind. Whatever I'm selling now, how I position my product in your mind determines whether you are going to buy and come back. Not only that, whether you are going to refer me to somebody. Not only that, whether you are going to even do more than that. So how I position myself, how I position my product, and that's why branding is very important to make products known. You know, when you see a good branding in the market, and that's why sometimes they started with Caesar, that they'll be, like, a lot of us will remember Etisalat when it was coming on, you know, how it was being shown, what was coming on, and then at the end of the day when it came in, people are already, you know, angry, already tasted to know what exactly is coming up. So it's extremely important to do, and so the same thing is expecting from us as an individual, in whatever we do, in the size at which that thing was or is, how do we take it to the next level with a good positioning? So it cuts through the clutter, it focuses on the perceptions of the prospect. A salesperson does not become a salesperson or a perfect salesperson until he's able to convince his customer or a customer to get that product purchased in a perfect manner. If I force you to buy it today, or you are buying it because you know me today, but you are not buying it genuinely because you are convinced that that product is useful for you. And that's why you see some of those comedians says that a guy, an Igbo guy, how good this guy was able to convince him to buy crunches that he does not even need. The guy said, we are doing promo now. You know, if anything happens, you'll be able to have it. Because of the way the guy marketed that product, he was buying crunches and he doesn't have any accident, nothing. So, not that you are sugarcoating it. Remember, we are talking about repositioning. Positioning that product. Positioning yourself. You are not selling anything. First, it's just yourself. Sometimes when you get to a customer's outlet or a client or a prospect, and then he just look at you and said, okay, come in. Some will say, okay, sorry, can you make it another day? Some will see you from the camera and then from CCTV and said, no, tell this person to come back. You never can tell what determines that. So you are positioning yourself first, you are presenting yourself first before you continue to do that. Now this is a journey. This is a red one, this is, you know, the traffic light, when it is red, what does it mean? We should stop. And then when it is amber, what happens? We should get ready to move. Although we don't use that in this part of the country, right? But God will help us. And then when we see that there is green light, what happens? We are free to move. What can we do today from this red point to move to that amber, which is orange point, and then to be sure that the one we are going for is green? Next slide, please. Decision have I taken in the past that is affecting my current situation? What can I do differently to help my tomorrow? As a businessman. A businessman is someone that sells. As a businessman is someone that has, this, regardless of the size. If I have this thing as my kiosk, where I'm selling from, I'm a businessman. I'm a CEO of that business. From that place, I can go places, depending on how I start my journey. So, not going too far. Have we mixed, please can you go back? We have mixed a particular slide. Please. No, not this. Yes. I was asking a question earlier about this. What can you see? What can you infer? This is talking about Genesis chapter 41, when you are reading from the beginning to the end, where Joseph answered Pharaoh, it is not me, but God will. Remember, Joseph was in the prison, and then he was called, we know the story, to interpret the dream. And then the key points I want you to know here is that there is someone who is making a change that is making life easy for some people, for the generation. So someone was able to come and come up with an idea, come up with a solution that is creating a perfect reality for tomorrow. If he was not able to translate that dream to say that in the next 7 years, as we have, there's going to be surplus. There's going to be everything moving fine. But in the 7 years after, what happened? There's going to be famine. So which means that time people will die, everything will happen. And then there will be a solution because there is a dream. Somebody is coming out to say that what we can do, why don't we save in these first 7 years? Why don't we not eat by spending all? Why didn't I keep some? Because the question that we ask ourselves, all of us, is that where is the capital to start a business? Oh yeah, call it a small retail shop, call it a kiosk. Where is the capital? The capital will not fly down from heaven, but it will come from you. Because an opportunity that has been created earlier, unknownly to you. And that's what we are seeing there. The man was worried. And then when Joseph came, he interpreted the dream and then made them to realize that if we do A, B, C, just like we're doing now, if you are able to pick one thing that can help us tomorrow, our tomorrow will be greater, rather than what they should have experienced. Let's come again and see this. Remember the 4 lepers. For them, it is over. For them, it is better for them to kill themselves. It is better for them to commit suicide. Remember in that 2 Kings 7, when you read from 1 to the end, in particular, and they said to themselves, why die here? Whether we stay, we will die. Whether we go, we will die. So why remaining where we are today? Why can't we come up with something that we can do? Why can't we build up what we are doing now? Why can't we brand what we are doing now to help us create a different perception in the mind of the people that want to patronize us? If we move, we will die. If we stay, we will die. Is it not better for us to move? And then what happened? Because they took that decision to move, what happened? Their tomorrow was guaranteed. Why? Because there are surplus for them to eat and then to take even away. And this also helped that same generation. Those that are scared and afraid of what is happening outside there, they were not coming. Remember, let's take the verse. It said, then the captain, on whose hand the king leaned, said to the man of God, if the Lord himself should make windows, should open the window of heaven, he said, it is not possible. And that's why I'm going to say to you this. Regardless of your experience, regardless of your knowledge, regardless of your academic background, qualification, God's factor is extremely important in whatever we do. I don't know about others. God's factor is extremely important. You cannot overemphasize that fact, that God's factor is very important. Look at this man. When you talk to him, my brother, logically, scientifically, how is it visible or possible that when there is a serious famine, then suddenly, within 24 hours, everybody will have surplus? Does it make sense? Naturally, no. The answer is no. But he has forgotten that there is a factor that he has excluded from the options. And that is God factor. Please, let's not neglect that. And whatever we want to do, take time, prepare yourself, get your business ready, get your proposal, set, get everything ready, but don't forget that factor. Don't exclude it from the options. As a matter of fact, let it be a option. And you can be rest assured that God will not let you down. Let's go to the next line. All right, before I continue, remember it's not a preaching. It's a discussion. It's a summit. Because of some of us that are here. Is there anything, you are free to raise your hand. We have how many minutes more? Like 10 minutes max. You are free to raise your hand to ask questions or to make a comment. And don't just, this is not a Sunday sermon. This is a discussion. This is a chat. And it's important that we get each other right. Remember, I'm also here to learn from you. I'm not only here to come and say what I know. I want to hear what you know as well. All right, so retail, remember we talk about the perspective we are looking at. Retail, according to these definitions, the word retail refers to a type of business where merchants sell products or services to individual consumers for personal use. In other words, they are almost about the second to the last stage of product distribution. Second to the last stage. They are selling directly to the end user. And then why retail is very important is this. It doesn't require too much money to start with. You only require a set of ideas and a set of, plans for you to achieve and then start it, and from there you can take it off, right? Again, we talk about selling, which is sales, the exchange of a commodity for money, the action of selling something. In sales, we say to ourselves, sales is not completed until I have collected money, until money enters. So if I just carry 1 million naira worth of or 10 million naira worth of goods, and I gave you this, gave you that, without collecting money, have I sold? No. It becomes, maybe just distribution. But it becomes a correct, complete sales when I have the money back, because that money can also be recycled to produce another one. But in the area where I'm not collecting money, most likely there won't be any production any longer. So, again, you can also look at it when you are having a promo, selling. A period during which a shop or dealer sells goods at reduced price. This is also important. I intentionally put it there. Now, you have competition. Currently, the sales of some products are at low level. Now, currently, you know that people will buy Christmas, even though it's not at the expected or peak. People will buy Christmas clothes, some other Christmas, rice and all that will be going on very fine. But some products might not be as, enriched as expected now. So what can you do differently to invite people? If they want to buy 3, what can you do to ensure that one of it is purchased from you, or at least 2, depending on your area? You can also introduce this as a way of bringing in people to you to ensure that you are, turning around your product. So I give an example of why it is that's the pictorial texture, like a supermarket. That one is a big one. All of us will know how the shop price looks like, even Just Right, and the ones you can name as well. Go there to do shopping, you pay. Everything is arranged. It's tagged. Theft is very, very minimal. Stealing there is very minimal. But when you come to this kiosk or the retail shop beside your house, of course, they can't do as much as that. They operate based on what they can pick and then what they can sell. Tendencies are there that when it's not available, the shop is closed. Or else it will come back and meet half of the products being taken away, or the products not being, sold at properly. This exchange of it, I've paid, then I'm collecting my product back from you, because it becomes mine, it's no more yours. These are the process of retail selling. And whether the upper supermarket or the lower one, which are the one that is expected around us. And why is this important? I said earlier, all of us might not be able to go and start the shop right of this world. All of us might not be able to go and start the Just Right of this world, everywhere you see them. But we can start something around us. We can start something around us and decided that, okay, this is what I want to do. What are the things you need to do? You need to find out at the area, what is the needs from that area? What are the things that they want, that you think that if you get this thing, they will get it? Now, do you have people selling it already? We have found of one thing in this Nigeria, in particular Lagos. I remember when the recharge card business came out, you see everywhere recharge card. POS, when it came out, every angle POS. Can't you come up with something different? Must you go and sit very close to another man doing the same business, eating from each other's opportunity? So the better, the earlier we can think about something on our own. Somebody will keep saying something. If you can develop design something that is unique, before others will tap into it, you will make a lot of money to yourself and then help yourself to be the founder of that product. And it becomes your, selling point. God will help us in the name of Jesus. Let's go to the next line. All right, so realities of life. Remember I said earlier, at what stage, is either you're a student or unemployed. Remember some students are employed already in the IT world. Even aside from that, those that know what they are doing, they are working and they are still, because a lot of work is being done remotely now. You either be employed as an employee, no doubt. Of course, an entrepreneur, you are the one employing somebody. Whether you're retired, which stage that you have, that you don't need, that you cannot sell again? Is there any stage here that is difficult for you to do buying and selling? Can I have your suggestion? Is there any stage here that is, you think that in that category, the person should not be able to sell, should not be able to buy and sell? Anyone? Do you get my question? As a student, is it possible for you to still buy and sell? As an unemployed person, should you wait until that job comes, the job that might not come as expected? Should you wait until that job comes, the job that might not come as expected? Anyone? Do you get my question? As a student, is it possible for you to still buy and sell? As an unemployed person, should you wait until that job comes, the job that might not come as expected? Should you wait until that job comes, the job that might not come So is that things, are there things you can do to help yourself by buying and selling? Even when you are employed, they will tell us that one stream of income is not enough in Nigeria. I don't know if you are in abroad, maybe you are in the UK, you are earning maybe 200,000 pounds per annum. That means about maybe 15,000 pounds per month. It's a lot of money, no doubt. But remember, as it's going higher, your expense, your needs are going higher as well. So what can we do to help ourselves? I know it's a difficult task, this particular one. I can tell, to be frank with you, that in the last 10 years, we have tried 2 businesses, myself and my wife. And those businesses were not able, we will learn from those that are the best. We are not able to try because there's no trust. We lack, we are unable to get a correct or a responsible personnel. We started a wine shop not far from here. We got there one day, about 7 big wines were empty. The bottles were not there, but the pack were there. We saw it. My wife just wanted to clean something and then lifted it up and said, what's this? And then check about 7 of them. Then it was about 11,000 per one. So times 7. And that's not just it. So because we were not there presently to manage it, what happened? We have to stop that. Then I started another one, which is a DSTV business in Ibadan. Few of us know. I left Ibadan with a new job in Lagos, came to Lagos. Within 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, it wasn't as it used to be. I used to have about 200 clients. A lot of them, I was servicing them online. But because of the new job I had, it was so demanding that I cannot do it any longer. But you see some of my staff sell a decoder, go and buy a decoder and replace it. I get my report every night. And I check, I say, okay, 10 decoders, 5 this thing. I visited impromptu, I checked that the things are the same. Not until I decided to be writing the serial number down. That's one. Then a lot of them, maybe by God's grace, I don't know, began to have issue with the decoder, and then my number is there, they will be calling me. So now I ask myself, and I'm paying your salary. So that is an area that we need to talk to ourselves. We need to check ourselves. Because I can tell you, one of them just finished serving not long ago, and he's looking for a job. You want me to employ him again? I don't know if, I don't know. Why should I do that? Even if there are other opportunities. You want me to recommend you with that experience I had with you? Things, you know, this thing, they are ripple effect. They will come back to us. So we need to sit right, we need to think about what we want to do, and then we'll know where we are going. Whichever stage you are, you can still do buying and selling. Buying and selling. All right, so you must find a perspective niche. Number 1, identify your passion and interest. You can't just be selling things that, because Braka is selling something and is making money, and then I say I want to do it. No. What's my interest? What do I have passion in? Even schools. I tell my daughter now, why do you want to study? Why do you want to be in science class? Why don't you be in a art class? What are the things that interest you most? What are the things you have passion for? Those are the things that will determine what happens tomorrow. Not the class you have, because you're a science student or because you're a art student. No. Go to where you think you can excel, you can shine, and then make your tomorrow better. Align your priority. Am I making that? Am I doing that thing? Am I doing that because I want to, you know, I'm comparing myself with another person. Or I want to also show that I have arrived. Align your priority, what you want to do. Again, conduct a comparative analysis to know the competitors. In the area you want to do business, check what has. I've said it earlier, check what is obtaining what is expected, what the needs are, then check those that are selling already. Some people have it there, they are not even making profit, and you thought that because the place is filled up, oh, it's a good business. You need to find out. Take your time to check those things, and then you are not regretting when you start. Note, there is always a reason for something. There is a season, and there is time. I pray that God will help us to understand these ones in the name of Jesus. The reason that you need to do it, you have to know. That season you need to start. Sometimes God can push you earlier than you. If you are too slack, and then God said, if God loves you, just push you. And said, start this thing. I will back you up. Can I have a video, just less than 1 minute. Is Lai there? Can you please kindly show it before, if it's there. But if it's not, while you are looking for that, let's go to the last one. All right, I think it should be the last one. This should be, so thank you very much for listening. When the video is out, we'll just play it. There's something I want to bring out of that video before I leave this stage. But if it's not able to come out, then I will explain it and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so like I said earlier, there's God factor, the empathy, desire to make the customer's day. I always like something personally. When I meet you as a customer for the first time, I like to leave an impressive, perception. The customer came to my new office some months ago, and he left, and he now began. About 4 or 5 people has called me now that they got my number from this person. I don't even know what I did, and this is like a testimony. He came to my office, we had a chat, we discussed and all that, and then he left. And the next thing I saw that somebody called me and said, somebody gave me your number. Oh, this person, another person gave me your number. And he himself has not bought anything. So let us try as much as we can. We are not faking it. Be yourself. Remember I said earlier, passion, the interest. So when you are dealing in that area, you are doing it as if it's part of you. You are not forcing yourself to do it. Let's be honest and be reliable. Honesty is very important. Being honest is very important. And that's what will take us above what